It's gonna be with cheese. And then we've got it on a, I like that shirt too. On a 3, 2, go. Welcome back to the show you run on a loop while you hula hoop. This is Popcorn and Beers, where some use tomatoes and others use thumbs. We use the stuff that gets you drunk. And welcome to 3 time zones and a bunch of movies and TV shows. We're here to discuss a classic in our Butter on Top. And it's a classic with all of the classic cast, except for one member who tragically passed away. And I gotta tell you, leading off this review section, I won't give my full review. We will open the floor for discussion. But I was really bored for, I would say, a solid 70% of the movie. Like, bored to the point where I took out my phone and started playing games on my phone during this movie. Because it was just like, I left the notes app and I was like, okay, cool, yep, all right. We're gonna, let's go to a museum. Let's read. Oh, what's Phoebe's story? All right, yeah, it literally is. They that's part of the movie is, hey, watch us read. And I'm like, oh man, I got this box of popcorn to watch you read this book. Can't wait. Like, you better read. Give me some Morgan Freeman overtones and some stuff. Like, I'm ready. But Jordan, what did you think before I give my full review? What did you think?
Well, I want to point something out before the movie even took place. There was not a single original idea movie trailer for this movie. It was A Quiet Place, Planet of the Apes, and Despicable Me. Those are the 3 trailers that were shown. Not a single original idea, nothing exciting. So I was like, oh boy.
Interesting.
Yeah. And also leading up, while the movie was beginning to start, showing Sony Pictures or whoever the hell makes this movie, I had my popcorn.
It is Sony.
Yeah, I have my popcorn and my icy going, and I was sitting there. Do you
do chocolate in your popcorn? I've been on this kick, right? So in England, they don't do like a buttery popcorn. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jordan.
No, you're good.
I just feel like there's more important things in this movie to discuss, like your popcorn.
Milk duds.
So you do milk duds, the teeth. That hurts the teeth, I think, for me. I guess I'm weak. I guess I'm weak boned. But
or Whoppers. I like
when
a Whopper.
It comes to the popcorn in England, they just do butter or salted. Like, that's your choice. Or buttered or salted, I think, are the 2 choices. Sweet or salted. Sweet or salted, and they don't really butter it, to be clear. There's not like a ton of butter on it. So I always go salted popcorn because I like the salt. But then I pour in they have these mint chocolate candies that are like little balls that are unique to here. They're called like arrows. And I pour them into the popcorn after I've had like a couple handfuls, and I shake the popcorn so all the chocolate goes all through and kind of, sometimes I hate it because it gets a little too melty because the popcorn's a little too hot. But I like that oppo boppo, that juxtaposition of sweet and salty. What do you think?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I like the sweet. I like the sweet.
Good chat.
I like the sweet. I do like sweet and salty. Great winning combination, but not for the movies. This is what I love about my movie theater is that it's called Maya Cinema. It's ingrained with the Latin community. And we have our butter station, and right next to that, they have a spritzer bottle of lime juice, and they have the Tapatio in a squirt bottle. And you just...
Okay. Any taino?
No, I don't do that. Nah.
Okay. No. That's really amazing.
They have the Latino heat up in there. Love it. Jalapenos, all that.
How do you rate that popcorn?
Oof. Eating it, I mean,
he's frozen like the frozen.
Why do I keep
Empire.
freezing? Am I back?
You froze again.
You're back.
Right. What do you rate that popcorn?
I give it a, popcorn and 3. That popcorn.
Popcorn and 3. What about you, Brian? What's your popcorn?
All right, so you got your popcorn there.
Yeah. So Sony Pictures comes up, whatever, yada yada yada, and I forgot which movie I was watching.
How high were you?
I was not high at all.
Oh, sorry, that's Josh. That's Josh during Avatar. What was it? Was it Avatar when you were super high?
Oh, it was more than Avatar, yeah. But yes.
Yeah, I don't know if I was so into my snacks or just so not into what I was about to watch that I was just like, I totally forgot. Like, oh wait, what's coming on right now? The movie, okay, the new gadgets and stuff are pretty cool. You know, I don't know how much of what they showed in the first one. I don't really remember all that well. But like, you know, they had a drone. Ghost catcher, and you know they had this lab facility where they're showing off their new ghost busting tools and toys and stuff, and you know I thought that was a cool element to the
Santa's
movie.
workshop, a la the Santa Claus.
Yeah, it was exactly. I think the actor, the actress, the girl, the young main girl, Phoebe, I think she is a future star. I'm gonna say that.
Why? The whole movie was centered around her. What else could you possibly think?
Yeah, she's gonna be pretty big time. I could see it. The Finn Wolfhard kid, the brother Stranger Things kid, is not good, and the poor guy is just not aging well.
Timothy Chalamet light.
I don't know what roles he is. Yeah.
the Guinness Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet.
The other young boy that was from the first one, Podcast, looking like Derek Zoolander.
Wait, his name was Podcast?
His name is Podcast.
And they explain that in the first movie, but they don't explain it again in this one. There's a teenage ghost love dynamic that nobody on planet Earth wanted. Yes, exactly.
It was like, it was literally, that's so funny that you said that, because my comment would I guess we're just going to jam this in here after I gave that whole speech on the last episode.
Yeah, that's where I really, really was like out on the movie, was at that point.
Instead of paint me like one of your French girls, it was like, put me in this thing and make me one of your ghost girls.
Ew.
Yeah, for like a genius, her character's supposed to be like this genius or whatever. Yeah. She's really stupid. Just really, really, really stupid. Like,
she was manipulated by love, Jordan.
Oh God. Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh God. The Stay Puft Minis were funny.
They were the best part.
Yeah, I liked it.
They were the best part. Yeah. I was gonna be mad at you if you were about to. I was like, that was the best part of the movie. That part.
They're funny.
Don't you dare say anything bad about them, because they made me smile. I was like, give me more of them. Just, in fact, make them the whole movie. Make it like a Minions thing.
That's their branding right there. That's Baby Yoda. That's, Stay Puft Minis. Dan Aykroyd is charming. We got Bill freaking Murray. He's in it. Gives a couple Bill Murray lines.
While looking super irritated that he's in it.
Yeah. He just walked up off the street and they're like, hey, man. Yeah. Paul Rudd, my favorite line my favorite sequence in the whole movie is Paul Rudd doing they're like, yeah, we can't ghost bust anymore. He's like, but if there's something strange in the neighborhood, who are they going to call?
I bet he was so happy delivering that line. Like, that's you just got to eat that whole scene up.
Yeah, it was great. The ghost boss was really cool looking, but the battle was too short and kind of effortless for how much they pumped him up the whole movie.
But they had gadgets.
I thought Kumail is fun. I love Kumail in any movie. Like, I don't feel like he's ever like a bad addition. Yeah. But just his character is really stupid and just added pretty much nothing to the movie.
That's not true. We got the grandmother sex dungeon scene, which was actually probably one of the funnier parts of the first 2 hours of the movie.
But just the whole fire. That
actually had me rolling.
The whole Fire Lord.
Stop talking about my grandmother having sex in this room.
It was dumb. His whole element to the movie was dumb. The fire people, whatever, the fire mages, dumb. But I give this a popcorn.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of people out here defending it, and the thing is, like, I'm sorry, you can't even say subjectively. Like, it's objectively not a good movie. It had all the potential to be, and then they ruined it. Like Jordan said, we get a ghost love story that was unnecessary, bad. It was poorly written, and she's super intelligent, going to be a physicist someday, but she gets manipulated within like 3 meetings with this ghost. There is an opportunity with a great villain. What's that?
I said, you say a new sentence every day. You've never said that before. About interviewing, meeting with a ghost and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
But when it comes to the villain, like Jordan said, the villain was fine. You just didn't get any of it. You didn't get any of the villain. You get, like I said, the last half hour was the best part of the movie. When we're actually getting the villain, we're actually getting some wrath from this villain being tortured the way the villain was tortured based on the books we had to read for the first 45 minutes. And
hey, look, it's the ghost from the books.
And we could have done, like, Patton Oswalt's scene is super unnecessary. And speaking of Patton Oswalt's scene, that, like, there is a scene that piggybacks off that scene where there is clearly a bunch of cops watching these children getting attacked, and then these children defend themselves, and they go, "Why did you do that?" And then they arrest the kids. And I'm like, that's the finger? Dumbest. You clearly just watch. Yes, the mayor does. Good call. But you clearly just, like, 6 cops clearly just saw these 2 kids get attacked, defend themselves, and you're like, why did you do that? Why were you wearing clothes like that?
I thought
like,
I told
it was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Go ahead, Josh.
Nothing. Just making noises.
The ghost pawn shop was good. The ghostly pawn shop was good, and the ghostly pawn shop podcast was funny too, where he just smashes people's stuff with a hammer. Yeah. Like, that's what gets the views, bro. Like, these people's treasures, he just whack smashes their treasures with his hammer while they're talking. But yeah, it's definitely a popcorn, and I'm so sorry to all of you. I wanted to be a stan too. I could just tell going into it, like, I knew what I was getting myself into. I even had super low expectations. But you cannot put me to sleep for 2 hours and give me a story about Ghostbusters that has 1 ghost busted, or 3 ghosts busted in the whole movie. The movie's 2.5 damn hours. And I get 3 ghosts busted. And I hear the Ghostbusters song 1 time.
I don't like that.
I almost cursed.
I don't like that.
It is Ghostbusters, not Phoebe, how's your life going? All right? Like, so for me, it's a popcorn.
Man, that's clearly a budget issue. Like, we only have enough for these 3, and they got to be this good. We can't fit any more ghosts in.
Then we're really going to promote.
Bustin' makes us feel good still.
All right, so you guys got to Insomnia. For both of you, it was the first watch, even though Jordan tried to slip, like, I saw it one time on TNT while I was washing the dishes, and I definitely saw this happen. And I'm like, that doesn't count as watching the actual movie.
I saw about half the movie.
But Josh, since you maintained integrity, which is one of our values that I just inserted, what did you think of the movie?
So write that down. I didn't know what to think about this. I just knew Robin Williams makes a good bad guy, and Al Pacino's Al Pacino. But this show gets going. It seems like it's going to be like a, detective crime thriller. Okay, sounds good. They're going somewhere, Alaska. Cool. Like, okay, I'm kind of tuning out because it's going to be just some 90s crime procedural thing. But then Al Pacino gets off the boat. He looks at a sign and he reads the sign, and it says, "Halibut fishing capital of the world." Okay. And so from there, I was hooked. It's been so long since I've actually seen a Pacino film. And it's great to see Pacino being Pacino. Robin Williams is a pretty good actor. The story definitely went a direction I was not thinking it was going to go, and then it like really leaned into it in a great way. There was tension built, great character work, cool idea, great setting. I kind of had the ending sort of guessed, but not exactly the way it went down. But that in the end doesn't really matter. What matters is motivations. And then that motivation at the end, the way it ended, was really kind of beautiful and harsh. But it was good. I liked the whole thing. It built tension, and it displayed like what insomnia is really like. Or when you're extremely highly stressed and you get the tunnel vision and all these things, like it did that really well atmospherically. The whole movie was atmosphere, and it really played with that a lot. Popcorn and 2.
Poppy 2. Yeah, I had a new fear unlocked here, Jordan, where It's when I forgot about this scene after the first time I watched it, and then I remember it right when I got to it. But when Robin Williams runs across the river logs, and then Pacino falls underneath them, and I was like, wow, that would be absolutely terrifying. Because
that happened
you would feel so helpless.
And it was awful. I mean, not with the logs.
Yeah, it was like a real life Frogger.
Yeah, dude, it was. I kept seeing ankles getting broken. That's what I thought was going to happen.
Whoa.
Fingers, man. When he's trying to get up,
yeah.
I'm like, those logs are smashing. I was like, ooh, his fingers, and he's going about it the wrong way, trying to like roll them and stuff. I was like, ooh, your fingers got to be hurting. You got to be hurting. But Jordan, what did you think?
It's Pacino just running around being Pacino. I really like that the lady, the hotel lady. She's like a character actor at a lot of different things.
Yeah, Dogma.
ER.
Liar. She's the mom in Liar Liar.
She is the mom in Liar Liar. She's in ER quite a bit.
She was the mom in The Iron Claw, which I didn't even realize until I went back and looked at her filmography. Yeah. I was like, wow, I didn't even know that. The gazes in this movie are top notch. Everybody's just gazing at each other constantly.
Dude.
There's just like, I swear, if you go back and try to count, like have a stopwatch for how long there's no dialogue and people are just doing this like deadpan blank stare at each other. Is like a lot of the movie.
We can't do that here, Jordan. This is a radio medium largely. You have to keep talking. Right now, we're all gazing at each other so Jordan can imitate the gaze. Quick on radio, let's all just stare at each other.
We have a video element too, so we
do.
Run on over to that. Yeah, the insomnia thing plays into the movie, being light out all the time. I get it, but it's like the taping the windows. I'm like, yeah, I'm just like a sleep mask guy. I don't know about anybody else. Just throw one of those on, you're good to go. Instant nighttime.
It's aluminum, if you want to know. Yeah. So we had a buddy stationed up there at Eielson. I went and visited him. It's aluminum. They put aluminum over it.
Yeah, and you would think that would be in the hotel. Like, why wouldn't the hotel have that accommodation in Alaska? Like, they have that.
Mm-hmm. And what is the big wad of gum that cracked me up? When he's just like trying to sleep, he's tossing and turning, and he's just got this massive wad of gum.
Yeah, they left that scene in for no reason, like that. Just that one shot.
Yeah,
it's like his real wad of gum while he's acting.
Yeah, I'm working on something.
And like, why not just like maybe just I don't know, get hammered and fall asleep that way, the old-fashioned way.
Yep.
Super restful.
Yeah. There's a lot of camera work throughout this movie trying to make Pacino look, limber.
Jordan
and did I? Am I back? Am I here?
You're back.
Yeah, you're back for a minute, but your face is frozen on my screen.
You guys froze now.
There you are.
You're back completely now.
I'm back. All right. There's a lot of camera work here trying to make Pacino look limber enough to, do these chases over the logs, in the rocks, in the fog.
Oh boy, yeah, face at the last shot where he's still sprinting, you can see he's about to die.
Yeah,
and this is why he hasn't worked with Christopher Nolan since.
The verbal jousting scene on the ferry ride, him and Robin Williams, where they're kind of picking at each other, calling each other out, and then Al Pacino keeps putting. You can tell this is like pre-COVID, whatever this is. He keeps putting his mouth and his face on that dirty handrail.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh really God, weird. Stop! That's like that's like the scariest, grossest part of this whole movie.
Maybe he was trying to play just how tired he was.
Yeah,
but even so,
yeah, it was disgusting. And Robin Williams plays a gross groomer, pedophile, creep in this movie. But it's a good movie. It was entertaining. I give it a popcorn and 2 as well.
Pop and 2. Yeah, he could not deal with rejection in the most extreme of ways, huh?
Yeah.
Or maybe that is how he dealt with rejection, in the most extreme of ways. I feel like Robin Williams in almost every scene they have together goes toe to toe with Pacino. I truly do.
Oh yeah.
Like it was a beautiful dance to see those two square off with their acting chops.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like Jordan said, the boat scene and then so many other scenes, like when we're getting the big finale and he is exhausted and then Robin Williams is calling him out on being exhausted and trying to manipulate that exhaustion with different words. That scene is fantastic as well. We do get some Pacino yelling. We do get that in the interrogation. You wanted to have sex with her, didn't you? like just you get that. You do get some classic Pacino yelling, and I love it because Robin Williams does such a perfect job of not reacting to that. Mm-hmm. You know, while he's being interrogated, like as an actor, he crushed that scene because he doesn't even react. He just sits there, lets Pacino go Pacino, and then responds in a very Robin Williams somber way. And I dug that. He is a groomer creep. He plays that role. I mean, you could see, I think, some of the depression that was going on with Robin Williams in this role and how he owned this character and how he owned this aging, failing writer. It was interesting. And he found the one person that he could cling to that like he felt a connection to, and then she laughs at him, and so he kills her. So it's very interesting. I think that Hilary Swank is underrated. I think she is a good actress. I think she's solid. I think she earned her Academy Awards.
Oh, sure.
And I think the choice at the end is I like the cliffhanger. I don't like a cliffhanger in a lot of situations, but the cliffhanger here is great because she still has a choice to make. Though it infers that she makes it, you never quite get that closure on whether or not she does, in fact, make the choice. She just, it closes with her having a choice to make there, with her hero falling in battle. So for me, it is a pop and two. I think the movie is very interesting. And he doesn't hide who did these crimes. Like, you know right away what Pacino's character is doing. You know right away what Robin Williams' character is doing. And then you just get to watch the dance.
That's what I'm saying when I was saying, like, I think I kind of predicted sort of what was going to happen, kind of. But at the end, it didn't really matter because the whole thing was just set up to make you think about that ending. Mm-hmm. So like there's no mystery per se, you know what I mean? That's not relevant. Yeah, we just trying to set up this or philosophical question, and I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah, like what would I do? And it's interesting that they show the element, the old myth about Lake Tahoe. This is obviously in Alaska, but the old myth about Lake Tahoe is there's bodies at the bottom, but the water's so cold that they just sink. And you see that happen with Robin Williams here. Like the water's so cold, his body just sinks. So I wonder why that happens scientifically.
It's probably because of cold. I don't know.
I just said what? Yeah,
science.
No. Yeah, Bill Nye. But
science.
Jordan, why don't you get us started with what you were watching this week?
All right. Yeah, so I watched Love on the Spectrum, the U.S. version, season 2. It's more of, what you expect from that show. It's just very human, and I think it's very well executed for what it is. I give it a popcorn 2. It's great. It's beautiful. Love it.
Okay.
Yeah. Always walk away from that show feeling in a good mood.
It's a palate cleanser of a show.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. Then I watched something that was the total opposite feeling of that. It's Freaknik, The Wildest Party Never Told. This is on Hulu. Short documentary, hour and a half. So if you never heard of Freaknik, it started out as this innocent college student cookout spring break event in the 80s for like HBCUs in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. The commentators of this are, we got a bunch of rappers. So you got like Killer Mike, Jermaine Dupri, Lil Jon, 21 Savage, Too Short, a bunch of DJs, journalists, politicians, all these people. It begins kind of with the cultural significance of Atlanta and HBCUs. Then it becomes about, the music, the concerts, the performers coming in, and that. So then it becomes a little bit bigger. And then And what also is weird is it completely credits the establishment of like the whole Atlanta rap scene to Chris Cross's Jump Jump, which I mean was really Jermaine Dupri's brainchild. You know, he found these kids and all that. So, you know, that was an interesting element to me. I was like, wow, really? Okay, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they were a phenomenon, right?
Yeah, they make you want to jump.
Yeah.
And they wear their, like, one wore the overalls forward, the other one wore them backwards.
Mac Daddy make you. Yep. Then where it turned into the kind of depravity that we all know, or not that we all know that it's most well known for in the 90s, where, you know, women were just openly getting sexually harassed and these, you know, it turned crazy, was when, and it really gets pinned on, and he proudly wears this badge, is when Uncle Luther and the 2 Live crew kind of,
wow, what a cliffhanger,
co-opt and take over.
Nope, you gotta start over. You froze right at when. Yeah. Josh and I were just like, and then what happened?
Am I back?
So you gotta start from when.
Yeah, you're back.
Oh, okay. It gets pinned on when Uncle Luther and the 2 Live crew kind of come onto the scene because they're basically.
At least we found out who.
Yeah. We're like, all right, Uncle Lou and the 2 Live crew, and then
yeah, because they're basically run out of the Miami spring break scene because of all of this ruckus that they're causing down in Miami. So they
invented booty music, right?
Yeah,
isn't that the
watch a 2 Live Crew movie or music video? You know, you'll see what kind of vibe they were bringing. Then when the Olympics were given to Chicago, earned by Chicago, or not Chicago, sorry, Atlanta. Yeah, earned by Atlanta. It really puts the city under a microscope. You know, you got this Freaknik, which brought in, you know, some millions of dollars, but the Olympics were going to bring in, they were going to bring in billions of dollars. So, you know, they were like, you know, we got to change the image of this whole thing. We got to shut this down. Then you inevitably have the people from, you know, out of non-college students, just old weird guys and just randoms coming into Atlanta, just looking at it as an opportunity to, you know, commit crimes and harass people and do all this crazy stuff. You got the racial dynamic. You know, the white folks don't like to see all this big group of gathering of black folks, and they're like, oh, but
why did you say that with a twang?
The white folks?
Yeah, the white folks don't like to see it be.
Why? The whites. They don't like it, and then, you know, the whole thing like, well, why don't they bother the white kids down in Daytona? They're doing the same thing. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just I just have it. It's natural.
That's how they talk. It's just like, look, that's how they talk.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Basically, it just kind of fizzles out on its own for the most part because the old perverts scare all the women off. And when there's no women, the dudes don't come. And it's, like college students were that's good. College students would just literally leave Atlanta. The girls started leaving Atlanta when Freaknik was coming up. They're like, all right, we're going to go catch a flight and go visit our family instead.
Like fly south for the winter, like birds. Like, nope, nah, here comes the heat. We're leaving.
Yeah, y'all can have it.
Yeah.
That sucks, man. Party. That really sucks, dude. Like,
yeah.
That doesn't get talked about enough. The party getting killed. It's like, oh, man, everything was going real good. Then y'all got to add your shit to it.
What's the old saying? It only takes a couple assholes to ruin it for everyone.
Quick way does not cater, people.
What's funny though is I think, and Josh, you've been a part of these things for a long time, like myself. The majority of people just want to have a good time and have fun, but there are always like a couple assholes that ruin the fun for everyone.
Yeah. Or if you want to be as generous as possible, there's just some people that just don't get it. and they don't care that they don't get it. They want to make it the way they want it.
Dude, it's like World War Z. Like, there's a scene where this girl is telling a story about how her and her friend were at a gas station or something, and somebody broke into her friend's car, took her purse. So her friend, I don't know, trying to be Captain America or something, this is a really dumb decision that led to a horrible outcome. The friend drives her car, parks it in an intersection, blocks off traffic, and starts running from car to car, demanding that somebody give her purse back. And then angry mob storms the car with her friend sitting inside of it, rips her out of the car, tries to drive off with the car, like move the car basically. They rip her out, and all these men swarm this girl and just start tearing her clothes off and basically trying to assault her. It's like the most insane thing. Like,
wow.
And they got a lot of it on video, and it's just, and this girl is telling her story, and nobody gets in trouble. Nobody gets held accountable for it. It's insane. Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. But
so they turned it from a spring break party for a cultural event into apocalypse.
Yeah. It turns into the Thunderdome pretty quick. It's but this documentary is short, good music, a lot of culture. There's good elements to it, and they try to spin it in a way like, oh, it sucks that this is how it's remembered as, but let's keep in mind what it started as and what it should have been and what it could have been. So I give this a popcorn and 2.
All right, what's next, sir?
I watched Roadhouse 1989 version with the Swayze train.
Turtleneck
Peak Patrick.
Yes. Patrick Swayze, cheesy dialogue in this movie made worse by a cheesy 80s Patrick Swayze performance.
Those jeans,
he gets offered this job at the Roadhouse, and they go, "Hey, all right, man, your plane ticket's already booked." He just says, "I don't fly. It's too dangerous." And there's no explanation for that at all. He's like this badass white karate man and just is afraid of flying. And he roundhouses people in his denim jeans.
Roadhouse.
Yeah.
That was the original title of the movie, was White Karate Man.
White Karate Man in jeans.
Yeah, they originally wanted Chuck Norris, but they got Patrick Swayze and everything changed.
Somebody insults him. I like this very early on in the movie. Somebody insults him by calling him a moosehead. Like, "Oh yeah, you old moosehead." And I love that because he does have a moose-like head. It was pretty great.
You know, Colonel Mustard.
It is in fact quite moose-like. Some of this whole movie, some of the worst beer pours you will ever see. It is just, your entire beer is all foam.
Oh gosh.
Awful, horrible. Yeah, there's a funny scene where the written on the wall of the Roadhouse, it says, "For a great F, for a great, call this number."
We got the gist of the F.
Okay. Call this number, and the owner of the Roadhouse goes and just changes a couple letters says, "For a great Buick, call blah 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 blah." It's like, it's pretty funny. I don't know if I've ever seen a blind guy play guitar or knowingly play guitar, because he plays it in a very peculiar way. How it's just like laid down on his lap.
Just like
is that what that is? Oh, okay. I'm not a musical guy.
In all the country songs, when it's like, whatever. When it's like that.
Yeah. The whole movie is like centered around this band and this guy.
Yeah.
He had, I don't know if this guy, I don't know the name of the band, but if it was like he was a poppin' thing back then in the 80s or something. But
Blind Cats 3.
Yeah, I don't know. He was had a big role in this. And of course, there's a scene of him shirtless doing Tai Chi.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
that has to be in every 80s action movie.
Got the hairy chest.
No, I think it's very bald. I think it's a very bald chest.
For the 80s. How about that?
Right?
Ushered us into a new era.
So he was chiseled.
He's very sleek. There's a young Sam Elliott who is still the old guy somehow, like Steve Martin. It's like, who are some of these others where they're just perpetually have been old their whole
Steve
career? Steve Carell, yeah, just the old guy. And for some reason, he's meeting his buddy's girlfriend, and just is like, oh yeah, hey, we're showing each other scars. Check out my full bush. Like, bam, there it is. Takes
Sean
his pants
Connery?
down.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Still thinking of people that have been old their whole life.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just like, yeah, very unnecessary. A very unsexy sex scene between Patrick Swayze and the main doctor girl, his love interest. It's just the most awkward scene, the way it develops and all
Was
of
that
that.
in the credits, Jordan? Main doctor girl.
Her name is like, I don't think they give her an actual, actually they do, but in the credits she is Doc. Like, that's her name, Doc.
Okay.
Yeah. Doc Ock. Yeah. It's like the Wild West. A guy can just drive a monster truck through a showroom and just nothing happens. There's all these crimes. People are just getting murdered left and right. No FBI, no like
just the cops.
Yeah. They own the 3 cops in this town, and that's as far as we go.
Yeah.
Is pretty much the explanation you get.
The hell is an FBI?
Well, no, somebody literally says, why don't we get the FBI involved? And they just kind of look at them and move on. Like, there's no like, oh, we can't do that because of X, Y, and Z. They're just like, no. Yeah. There's like blowing up buildings, like full on terrorist stuff. No FBI, no nothing going on. And then, so there's this whole foreshadowing that, oh my God, he's haunted because he got in a bar fight and he ripped this guy's throat out in a bar fight. And that's why he's running from the demons of the past, whatever. And, inevitably it happens again. He's fighting the main other white karate man on the beach. And he, not again. He rips the guy's throat out. He can't help ripping guys' throats out.
It's his favorite thing. He's doing it.
Yeah. It's like Mortal Kombat when you're just spamming the same button over and over. He's just throat rip, throat rip, throat rip. In the end, he has that claw ready. He's just, and he doesn't rip the throat out. And that's growth. And it's good. That's character development. That's good. It's 80s cheese,
nice.
but
it's real nice.
Yeah, he learns. Popcorn and 2.
You're doing so good, Swayze.
All right, and that leads us to the new Roadhouse, which we all watched. Jordan, I don't mean to take away from your review.
Yeah,
but let's all go into this and John.
Let's rotate. Well, I'll start with. I think this Roadhouse, in a sense, checked all the boxes. If you're looking for a remake of Roadhouse, maybe not every single thing. It didn't do everything quite the same. Like the whole "be nice" thing was more emphasized in the original. I don't know. Maybe that was like, I like that because it's like a good message to people. Be nice. Anyway, the movie was so fun and so stupid and so ridiculous and so like, how can we fit more abs into this? And all the
40-year-old abs.
All the side characters were very beautiful women, and everyone's just out here trying to make it. And then he gives away all the money? He can't have some of the money when he gets on the bus. Anyway, that's besides the point. It's a popcorn movie, but I'm, kung fu and like, why don't we just call the cops? Like the whole movie is just call the cops. But I like the bad guy. McGregor was, for this type of villain, for this type of movie, I think he was a perfect pour. But the other bad guy, Yacht Boy, he's always that character, kind of like he's like, that guy, and he plays that guy really well. Yeah, boat shoes. Let's call him. Yeah, popcorn.
Old Boat Shoes McGee. I gotta say the scene with McGregor walking around Italy naked. It's just really funny. Like no matter how you slice it, it's not made to be an amazing movie. It's made to be absolute cheeseball action with dudes getting slapped and like I mean the dialogue did make me laugh when he's talking about is there a hospital near here and he has that interaction with the other dude. He goes, it was like it depends on traffic, but it's like 25 minutes. He goes, okay. Yeah. So can somebody call that? Because it's gonna take about 20 minutes for the ambulance to get here. And I could do without him training the new bouncers. Like that was unnecessary. That could have been cut from the movie. I think that there was an error that should have been edited out where Conor McGregor and Jake Gyllenhaal are fighting in the boat, and Conor McGregor does like a real professional strike. It's a professional kick, and you hear Jake Gyllenhaal go, "What the hell, man?" And I think that was real. I don't think because in the context of what the fight is going on. He goes, "What the hell, man?" Like it was choreography that Connor messed up or threw too fast at him. And it sounded like it was unexpected from Jake Gyllenhaal and they just kept it in. But like, I don't know. There's a lot of corny lines. Go ahead, Josh.
No, I was just, I would hate to get kicked in the ribs on accident by Conor McGregor, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that would suck for sure. The whole looks like we got our own little octagon, and Jake Gyllenhaal's who taught you shapes? Because they're in a boat.
That was good.
Like I thought that was funny. That would make me laugh.
A lot of lines. The piano.
Why do you think they call it the keys? Yeah, the piano. There's a lot of cocaine jokes. Why do you think they call it the keys? The piano joke. There was quite a few cocaine jokes going on about Florida. And then the crocodiles hide their food. They're not going to find the body. Do they just teach that in elementary school here?
Yeah.
But the villain with the bleached hair was necessary. Trying to set it up like a drunk driver when they're going after Jake Gyllenhaal. You never burn down the dead mom's bookstore. You know that. Otherwise, you catch a trachea punch. Like that is a rule. You will get a trachea punch. It is a popcorn movie, but it is big, dumb action. And if you need something to just desensitize and palate cleanse, this is a palate cleanse of a different nature.
Yeah.
Jordan?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Josh.
No, you're right. Buildings fall to pieces. There's fires. There's punching. There's corny lines. There's boats characters jumping. That are like bonding. There's character bonding throughout the movie. So if you just want to see buddies being buddies,
bros,
they punch the bad guys and give each other thumbs up.
Yeah. Eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This was cathartic. It's a totally different experience. I watched the old one and the new one back to back. Completely different experience.
Yeah.
This movie is really self-aware of just how kind of cheesy and, it's supposed to be this like uber macho thing from the original, but, it really didn't want to be that. It's really a comedy movie, an action comedy.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. That again, you mentioned that first bar fight. Well, how far is the hospital? And then you guys got a car? You got a car? And then he ends up driving the guys that he just beat up to the hospital. Yeah. The guys who later tried to murder him multiple times. That was fantastic. That was an all-time funny scene. I really liked the way that they that panned out. And they took all the female sex appeal out of this movie, by the way. Like maybe if that's because they're trying to get away they're really trying to get away from what it was in the first one, how it was just over the top, very womanizing and all that. It's just dudes with their shirts off the whole movie. There's no lady sex appeal in this, pretty much this whole movie. It's very tame in that aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like how bad do you guys want to go to that little like isthmus? That little isthmus
that's cool.
She takes him to in the middle of the water. Like, that was pretty dope. Like the little sand isthmus connecting the two islands.
That was like, pretty dope.
That looks like actually a really great time.
Oh, Jordan, you mentioned that. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Jordan. You mentioned that. You didn't mention. You saw them both back to back. Did you feel like the original Roadhouse, like the building, was way bigger than this one? The new one was just like a decent sized bar, but Roadhouse was like a thing. It was huge.
Yeah. And also, like it's a tiki bar in Key West that attracts the wrong crowd. like, what is that? Jimmy Buffett fans? Like, is it actually,
It's the wrong kind of retirees there, boy.
Yeah. Like, it's like, really? A tiki bar?
Tiki bar.
It's, yeah. So you got the opening scene, Post Malone, some little more star power. You get Bob Menery of all people, super random. I don't know if you'd have to. He's like in the podcast world. He does some like internet clips and stuff. He's funny. I know him. Some people know him. If you know him, he's in there randomly. Actually, not a bad actor. A much better actor than Conor McGregor, I'll say. All-time horrible athlete actor crossover. All-time bad.
Who? God,
you guys froze
your
on me.
Computer has the best cliffhangers.
Yeah,
that's crazy. It keeps happening.
You guys froze on
me. For sure.
Okay, so what was the all-time worst athlete crossover, Jordan?
Yeah, Conor McGregor's all-time horrible athlete actor crossover. And they had to have known.
He was great for that scene.
No, he was playing
the character. He's not a good actor, but that character.
When he was playing things straight, he was good. He was very menacing and like serious. But then just when he delivers those lines, those puns and whatnot, his stupid big smile. Yeah, he can't talk like. Eh.
It was so entertaining how bad it was. I
thought. Oh God. They had to have known this, filming this, that he's not hitting these lines very well. Pun there, or not a pun, but he was hitting those lines very well. I saw something on the internet that basically just said like, yeah, I don't think they even gave him a script. They just gave him a bunch of coke and just started recording him. Just started recording him running around the set. But yeah, so they sacrificed basically the quality of this, a lot of the quality that was there of this film for engagement. Just for, hey, look, Conor McGregor's in this movie.
Exactly. He was just entertainment. Pure entertainment.
They filmed it in sound
bites. His character didn't matter. Yeah, sound bites.
And there's a scene where he's driving.
Yeah, they're like making memes, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, TikToks and stuff like that. TikTok clips.
And just to
Instagram
have him
clips, yeah,
having him do press basically was like, a big part of it, which is actually backfiring because he has looked awful in the press. There's something health-wise wrong with him. Very kind of scary. And it might be from the amount of,
call it tweaking.
The amount of coconut water that he drinks in that one scene. He pans over and he's got like 8 coconuts. Like that would have you peeing out of your butt for like a week straight. I mean, that is not a healthy amount of coconut water. Yeah, so a similarity, some scenes that are directly from the old movie to the new one. There's like the odd friendly bartender girl that brings him breakfast in like the original one, and she brings him a smashed jelly donut and coffee. And this one, you got the girl brings him like, oh yeah, we got tostadas, a breakfast burrito, empanadas, like all this stuff. I'm like,
that breakfast sounded amazing,
right? We're like, yeah, that's how it's done. That's how it's done. Another funny scene. There's the guy that just goes bar fight and punches a random guy behind him.
Yeah,
I love that. That guy's been waiting for that moment his whole life.
Yeah, his whole life. Yeah,
super relatable character right there. Then there's the MMA aspect of this film with Jake Gyllenhaal and how he beats this guy into death or a coma or something. And it's an all-time bad.
They just basically say not being the same. Like,
he gets pushed too far, and it's like, okay, what pushed you too far there? The ref just all-time bad. This is Big John McCarthy or something. All-time bad ref stoppage just doesn't stop him from Donkey Konging this guy's head for like 5 minutes.
Right.
More equally the ref's fault as it is his. Yeah. No, there's no plot line or element to this movie that is satisfying. It's a popcorn.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna whip through these as fast as I can because we don't have a ton of time left.
Oh yeah.
After the Roadhouse reviews, so really quick, I got The Last Repair Shop in. It is one of the Oscar nominees for Best Documentary from this year's Oscars. It takes into account, or it is this. Pardon me, takes into account. It is the story of the last repair shop in Los Angeles repairing instruments for underprivileged kids that didn't believe that they'd be able to play any instruments. Josh you have interviewed me before on here for All the Nuts in the Bag for Gorp, and I talk about it, and it's a very real problem, not just in Los Angeles, but in California, probably in the United States, where these instruments are just not affordable, and this group of people, it dives into their lives, both the kids and the repair folks, of how they repair them, how the kids felt like they never have an opportunity to play. It doesn't go into a lot of the statistics that show that music in a child's life improves multiple things like English scores, math scores, science scores if they play music. And I think that that's rather important. But this is a great story. It is a great journey. And it lets you know that our society continues to take advantage of those that are most vulnerable within it. We continue to take any social programs that help out children or help out those that are vulnerable away. We take out programs from school that are shown to improve intelligence, like art programs, athletics, photography, film, any program that they deem unnecessary. And if you're in Florida, education in general that's outside the Bible is being taken away. So it's we sit here and we wonder why we're behind. And I mean, this documentary is a great show on why we're behind. Stop taking this stuff away. We shouldn't have to struggle to play a used violin. We should compensate these people. We should continue to help these people, as opposed to putting money into places where it doesn't need to be, like Marjorie's pockets. Anyway, I give that one a popcorn and 2 very short watch, very quick. I also watched The Gentleman, which is Guy Ritchie's new TV show. I guess it's still a TV show, but it's a streaming show on Netflix. And it is not based on the movie with Matthew McConaughey. It's a little bit of a different story, but it is fantastic. It is so good. You've got Eddie, played by James Theo, who's the Duke, and they all refer to him as Your Highness or His Royalty. You've got Susie Glass, who is running the nefarious business underneath his manor, like his giant sprawling manor. And it's a pot shop. I don't think I'm revealing anything that you should get in episode 1, but it's a pot shop. And remember, pot is still illegal in England, but they talk about how they believe pot is going to be legal in England in the next 10 years, in the next decade, and how they've already gotten set up to basically be the largest distributor in all of England when it is legal. So there's a ton of stuff going on. Obviously, matters get out of control. We've got a character that's the pastor. He's not in it very much, but when he is in it, it's kind of like ominous and eerie, like a cult leader, and obviously a murderer. Then you've got Freddie, the older brother that doesn't get to inherit everything because it all goes to Eddie. Not Freddie, but Eddie. Eddie inherits everything, and Freddie loses his mind, but he's basically the degenerate of the family. Over gambles, overspends, gets himself into situations he shouldn't be in. Right when he's about to get out of the situation, he gambles all the money away that got him out of this, that was going to get him out of the situation. It's just a great show, and I if you're into just things that are going to make you laugh, things that have a lot of action and have a great story, I would say The Gentleman's right for you. I gave this one a pop 3 for TV shows. That is my rating on that. Then Masters of the Air. This one is a pop 1 for me. We've got actors like Barry Keoghan, Austin Butler, and so many others that you're like, oh, I know that person from that thing, right? It's a story of pilots during World War II and the mission that they were on. It goes into a lot of the technology that set us apart, to include our fighters, which eventually came towards the end of the series. It goes into the Tuskegee Airmen, just 1 episode, and it's really quick. So I felt like that's kind of a disservice. So I'm hoping that they tell the story from their perspective here. But overall, like I said, it's going to be a popcorn and 1 for me. There's just, it's too, how do I describe it? It's too Hollywood. Is that a fair criticism for a war movie? It's too Hollywood. It becomes too, what does Hollywood want us to think? What does Hollywood want us to value here? What does Hollywood think we should think about this? And I didn't like that. Go ahead.
From what I've heard about it is that Austin Butler came off of making Elvis and filmed this, and he was still in that thing where he was stuck in the Elvis voice. And so throughout this series, it's very hard to get over him speaking like Elvis the whole time.
Yeah. He does still have an accent. He does still have an accent in this. Yeah, from Texas, but it's not a Texas accent.
Yeah.
Buck and Buck. But yeah, they're all real people. It's based on a true story. So these are all real people in this story. In fact, at the end, the very last episode, it gives you a biography on each one. And it goes into their life and their life after the war, those that survived. The next thing I watched 30 Minutes or Less. So I just gave you, just so you know, I did watch quite a bit. That's an 8-hour series, and that's a 9-hour series, the two that I just gave you. 30 Minutes or Less. Again, just a quick palate cleanser while I'm doing some chores. Do you like 30 Minutes or Less, Jordan?
This is like one of my top 5 comedies I love this movie. I love this movie. It's so stupid. I wouldn't make it a drunk classic, but it's that for me. Like I would if this was just the Jordan show, but I love that movie. I know it line for line. Go ahead.
It's very quick. And he's like, so you could remember this one? Yeah, that does sound good, me being a king. Maybe you could polish my scepter.
Yeah.
And
Danny
scepter is a
McBride.
euphemism for my penis. What does he say when he's on the phone call the voicemail? I won't just be selfish about it either. I will also polish your crown.
Yeah.
Danny McBride is at his Danny McBrideiest in this film. Schwartzen doesn't necessarily need to be there. Like, his character is fine, but
He's
Danny
hilarious.
McBride steals the show in every scene. Like, in every scene, it's Danny McBride. Obviously, the Marine pop. Did you just shoot me with a pen, bro?
Yeah.
Was that That was fantastic. We never get to hear whether or not Danny McBride and his dad survive. Classic scene that every young person can relate to that was young when this movie came out. You want a beer to wash the taste of you out of your mouth?
Yeah.
But overall, it is a very quick movie. It's fun. It's a lot of buddy humor. Oh, back to Ghostbusters really quick. Too much parent humor. Too much parent humor. Enough. Other people are going to go see this film. I don't need a bunch of parent jokes through the whole film. Anyway, off my soapbox, this is a lot of buddy humor.
Yeah.
Sleeping with your sister, breaking up your mom and your dad, best friends. It's a very bro-down comedy, and it has a heart. It definitely has a heart, and it gets to everything it needs to in about an hour and 27 minutes, which makes it very easy to digest. This is a popcorn and one for a film, but it is funny. I mean, lines like, did you see what I did there? I held my gun sideways at one point. I was totally badass. Like,
Yeah.
That will get you. Go ahead, Jordan.
And just an underrated comedic performance by Jesse Eisenberg. He's been in comedies. Obviously, he's in Zombieland and whatnot. You know, it's comedy. But him, and you don't even see his face is the thing because they have ski masks on. But the bank robbery scene, the way he delivers his dialogue, all frantic like that, is so funny to me. That scene kills me every time. Yeah, love it.
I thought we were friends, Sandra.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some classic lines in that, but again, I'm gonna give that a popcorn and one. Josh, what were you doing?
I watched Unthinkable, a movie on Netflix, recent drop. Not a recent movie, but they recently put it on Netflix. Carrie-Anne Moss plays opposite Sam Jackson. It's not their fault this movie was terrible. This movie was terrible. It's about what are we like? What are the lengths you would go to torture someone for information that would save millions of people? So that's the whole idea, right? Cool concept. If you really want to be, it could be a good movie out of that. They didn't though. Honestly, like literally, I remember specifically after the movie ended, as soon as the credits started rolling, I said out loud, "That was the movie," because. What the hell? It was bad, dude. I don't want to rate it. Popcorn.
Half a popcorn.
I will refuse. I will stand on my popcorn box. I'm sorry you had to go through that, Josh.
Yeah.
All right, so you wanted to touch on a couple animated series that are near and dear to your heart really quickly. Let's go ahead and do that.
Sure. We're not going to do a full review because it's ongoing. We're not through with the series. They're coming out episodically. Is that the right word? Weekly? I don't know.
That's fine.
Invincible, episode 1 and 2 of season 2 season 6, 5 and 6. Very confusing,
part
long
B.
story. I think it's going quite well. Then now they're making some bigger changes, taking away from the source material, but just a little bit. And honestly, still, everything they're doing in this show is only an improvement on the comic. It's really stinking good. Give me some more Alan the Alien. That's going great. You saw it too, right, Fry?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of fun. You're getting more action than you did in season 1 in every episode now, it seems. Like, every episode now has some action. They're not going to leave you without. And the storyline's like, we got some more death, finally. Not heroes surviving. So that was very interesting. It's very interesting to see what characters get killed off, why they get killed off, and how that progresses the story forward. And you're getting that right now.
Yeah, pretty good shit.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
You see it too, Jordan?
I've seen the first half. I haven't watched the last 2 episodes. I'm waiting for maybe 1 more week so I can do some binging.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. We also
They
got
are
into
longer. This back half, the back half episodes are about 50 minutes. The first 2 episodes.
They're putting some effort into it for sure. I'm mad it took so long, and now we have commercials. But whatever, whatever. Also, we saw X-Men on Disney's, the X-Men 97, the cartoon, episode 1 and 2 dropped.
7.
They hit it, dude. They hit it. Showing every little X-Men character got to shine in their own awesome way. Like, talking about Cyclops skating around the room on his lasers, and then you're like, oh no, Storm is like, nah, Cyclops didn't think he was gonna catch MVP, did he? And then Storm does the making the ground turn to ice or glass with the lightning bolts. Super good. I can't wait to see more.
Lots of Wolverine growls as well. And there's a funny scene where Jean, I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't seen the first 2 episodes, but Jean has a situation where she has to get to the hospital, and she goes, Logan, it's here. And he goes, Apocalypse! It's great. If you are missing your Saturday morning cartoons and you're in your 30s, you're going to absolutely love this show. Now, Josh, you also have the Drunk Classic for this week. What are we watching?
Yeah, we're not going to do any thrillers. We're not going to do anything in particular. We're going to do what this probably was some Oscar bait for the year, and it was a tough year for it, though. 99, not sure if anyone agrees with me, but I think one of the greatest years for movies ever. So it had a lot of competition that year. I don't know what it won. It probably won something. I don't know. But
I'd have to look at the movies that came out that year. I'd have to get a list.
We're just going to watch a good old movie with low stakes and an interesting story and cool stuff. The Red Violin, starring Sammy Jackson.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Never seen it.
Cool. I think it's free on YouTube. The Red Violin. I think it's on YouTube. It's got Sam Jackson in it. It's a great movie about appreciating music and observing history through the eyes of a violin.
You know what? That sounds ultra exciting. I can't wait to see a violin performed by John Ratzenberger.
I was thinking it was like a.
I'm a violin.
I was thinking it was some kind of commie spy drama thing.
Yeah. Like
no, just a good old-fashioned story.
All
right. The Red Violin will be our Drunk Classic this week, and our Butter on Top is taking it back to Middle Earth, but not in Lord of the Rings. I'm literally talking about the center of the Earth. If you're familiar with this series, that's where we went in part 1, and now we get part 2. Godzilla x Kong going into the theaters. That's where we will be this weekend, and we will see you at the movies. As always, you get the popcorn, and we got the beer.
We got the beer.
All right.
Sorry, I had to go check on my dad again. There. I sent Checo the link for Gorps. As soon as I get 100% here, I'll go over to Gorp.
Jordan, you're hopping on Gorp still down too, to right?
Play? Yeah.
All right.
We can keep it short. Just do burgers.
Yeah, we'll just do one. But let me stop this one.